include both of these teams. Opportunity of Upper Elite 6 for Black Dragons. Santos still fighting that relegation battle, or at least that potential relegation battle. What is it with Maverick bans on this map demo? Second time in 2 days.
And also a Thatcher and a Kite. Are you sure we're not playing Clubhouse?
Are we on Bank? Are we on Oregon? Like, what's going on?
Doesn't feel like a coastline. Well, maybe that's a little bit more coastline feel to it, but certainly the other three, it is, again, coastline, the meta shift. We've seen, God, do I want to say that coastlines became the new villa and then villas became the new coastline? Do I dive into that?
Potentially.
Because, I mean, we did see a villa that was very, very aggressive, and from what we've seen of coastline, it is a lot more passive. We see teams really take their time. MIBR yesterday, I think they shown that to a great degree, where they just played it by the book. They sat, they held angles, they used their utility very well, they opened up whatever walls they needed to, and they just put a lot of pressure yesterday. So we'll see if Santos can maybe recover and learn from the kind of clobbering that MIBR gave them, and see if they can push on and try their best to try and get this win and stay ahead of W7M as best as they can.
Well, they're going to be starting off on the defense here. Terrifying prospect going up against the attacking lineup. Think about the game that Black Dragons had yesterday, Demo. Those guys, they played out of their minds. Ion, one of the best performances we've seen him have for a long time. And the whole team really working well together. A team that's fighting for something as important to them as the Copa Elite 6. They're going to be really thirsting after all these wins. They need to do everything that they can, because there are still a couple of things that are maybe out of their control. So, especially on the attack on this map, we could really see them start to get in and amongst things quite early on. I wouldn't be surprised to see an aggressive start and to watch a little bit of that confidence wash through from yesterday's performance.
So lineups now. Bit of a crazy one from Santos. We're seeing a bandit be brought in, which we don't see all too often. Especially for a Sunrise Blue Bar, it is very, very strange to see that operator be the choice. Especially whenever an operator like Mute is on the table. I mean, if they're trying to bring the bandit to deny wall access, surely the Mute Jammer would be the next point of contact you would look to whenever Kite is going to be banned out. So it's a bit strange, but maybe some active bandit tricking onto the VIP wall, which is a bit risky. Keep in mind, Ollie, because there is a doorway right beside it. If you're trying to bandit trick, somebody could swing in and kill you while you're in the animation, so he just has to be careful. Dragons have opened up with the first pick. Hunter, he had a very, very rough game yesterday, Ollie, didn't he? Didn't really turn up to the races at all. It's not a good start for him today.
No, and Hunter's that player that can be a little bit hit or miss as well, but his team backing him up. Rise, MGN, both grab a kill apiece. Ion and Perez shut down. Live with the drop into Penthouse. He's got some live information as well. He just needs to hurry himself along, and he maybe finds a second. Yes, he does. Takes down Rise, levels things out, and some. Gives the advantage here back to Black Dragons. It's now down to Cons and MGN. Make it just MGN. Cons is shut down on Cool Vibes. Black Dragons, they've very quickly been caught out of position there. A lot of information available. The Black Dragons, they've been able to capitalize on it beautifully. Still a minute left. Loads of time remaining. Try and figure out where MGN is hiding. It's not going to take a genius to figure out that it's going to be in the kitchen. 4 drones available. You can see that both Pasetto and Patoxy are in those drones. Default cam is going to be up. MGN has now been spotted and will need to start to make a rotation. He'll be cut off fairly easily from where he's going to move in through. The diffuser in the hands of Pasetto should start to go down fairly soon. MGN doesn't realise that Patoxy has dropped under the cover of the explosion. Toxie, there's only one place that MGN was ever going to leave the kitchen from, and he had his eyes directly on it.
Black Dragons, that's a good first round, good start onto a Sunrise and Blue Bar. I think the opening kill will play a big part in this game today, Ollie. I mean, SDK is someone who we've kind of highlighted for Santos, who isn't afraid of getting those opening picks as well. So hopefully we can see some STK action. Still think back to the first game they played against FaZe, Ollie. How many kills did he have? Like 18 kills with like 6 opening kills or something absurd like that. So we know he has it in, but can he do it today whenever they kind of need to stay away from W7M?
And that's been one of the bigger problems with Santos, right? It's been those hero plays. Someone that has a standout that then doesn't have a standout next week, and then there's a big gulf of kills that needs to be found. So it's not really to pin it all on one person, but you know, if you're going to have one guy really heavily pop off, it's almost like what we've seen from Furia this last couple of weeks. We know Furia to be a team that has depth, but they're obviously not performing very well at the moment for some reason or another. And had Fantasy not picked up 22 kills in that Chalet game, they probably wouldn't have won it because no one else was really in amongst the action. And it's almost a bit of a similar story here with Santos. If SDK isn't popping off, if one player isn't standing head and shoulders above the rest, they do start to lack those kills. And you compare that with the team at the top currently, FaZe. Go and look at their stats for Stage 3. They're all very equal with each other. There is not a big disparity from top to bottom. I think Bullet's probably sitting top. That's only because he's rocking the LMG on Zafir. But aside from that, everyone's really equally contributing. That's what you've got to look for in a consistent side. And it's not something that Santos are really displayed.
Straight over to Hooker next, and Black Dragons appear as if they want to try and take the challenge onto this offsite hold in towards Penthouse and Theater. We see the Bandit be brought in again, Ollie, which we've seen last time trying to juggle the Bandits onto that wall, and Live will drop straight down. The Bandits will be shot. It does give Pasetto the availability, and oh dear. Whoa. Oh, what? Rise! First of all,
how?
Very, very lucky. And then that second kill, oh my.
Just how? How has he gotten away with that?
Bleach my eyes.
Daylight robbery.
Just get that away from me.
The damage has been done. Black Dragons severely depleted here. 2 versus 4 need to come up with a plan, and they need to do it quickly. There's half the round remaining. Realistically, is this salvageable? You're attacking into Billiards and Hookah. You need a good, solid take. You need presence from multiple angles. You need more than 2 angles ideally being covered. Pasetto moves through, gets a chance. Gonna look for a bit of action through the drone hole, but I think it shows just how desperate Black Dragons are at the moment. They know that there's going to be a player on the Vars, but they're not really able to give that player a reason to move. And as such, Pasetto isn't going to be given the opportunity. You can try and throw out a couple of flashes here and bait somebody into a bit of movement. But if he's going to ask that player to shift, he needs to get Patoxy to try and do it. He's able to land some significant shots, so much so that he is able to grab the down. Great discipline there from Pasetto. That could be a very crucial one. Patoxy's able to push on through here and find some success as well. This round might not all be lost. It is still essentially a 2 versus 3. Patoxy manages to dodge out his teammate's stun as Pasetto tried to put some shots in but wasn't successful. MGN in position to shut him down, and Patoxy now, his location known. Is anybody going to peek him? The answer should be no, but you never know with Santos. STK comes in, the crouch walk shotgun does the business. The rest of his teammates were playing pretty far back. No real danger there of that round slipping.
Nope, I mean, Rise just got away with murder. Absolute murder he got away with, and I think if things went a little bit differently, and what happened didn't happen to Black Dragons, they were in good standing, Ollie. Remember, they opened up that VIP wall. That's really all they needed, and then they could have pushed it in from there. But on Coastline, if you go a man down, I think numbers advantage is massive for Coastline. It is one of those maps, Ollie, where there is a multitude of angles that you can hold. And it can really just trap any defenders in that hookah bomb site. So the more people you have alive from the attacking perspective, the more options it opens up. Whereas if you don't have too many players online, you're kind of forced out into like a one-way gunfight, and then that literally just goes down to gun skill and who wins those engagements in that stage. So Now we move to the kitchen. This is one thing we've seen quite a lot, Ollie, is gone are the days of fully reinforced the triple wall. Gone are the days. Now it's all about opening up a rotate hole, and that allows you to rotate in towards reception. Especially whenever the vertical game has become quite heavy on coastline as of late. We always see teams go upstairs and utilize the sledge that they have. If you think you're going to try and anchor this bomb site, you're in for a rude awakening, because everything is destructible from above. So having that rotation hole allows the defenders to freely move around the bomb site and also out into the safety whenever things start to get opened up. And it just gives them the opportunity to also retake if needed, because it gives them another way into the bomb site. Remember, the only way defenders can get into the actual bomb site, Ollie, is either from bathroom door or kitchen door. So having another way in is going to help them out quite a lot.
Black Dragon's initially going to be starting to put some pressure from Ruin's side, looking to get in into Hookah. It's a very belt and braces air jab from Patoxy on the exterior of the Hookah door. I think it just speaks to what sort of a game they're expecting here from Santos and how much aggression they're banking on Santos bringing. SDK, first of all, Perez successful on the entry. Patoxy doubling down on that as well. He's made his way to Cool Vibes. A little bit more of a sensible air jab getting placed out there. He's got two, one on Vars, one on Cool Vibes. It's settled, so really focusing on locking down that area, not allowing any rotations. Ion is going to start to move through now as well, as he knows there's going to be a player at the bottom of jungle, and cons will fall. Some really good teamwork and some great communication there from Black Dragons, allowing themselves to pinch beautifully and pick up that kill. Still yet to lose a life here, Demo. At the halfway point, they found 3 kills. Impressive stuff.
It is indeed, and even more gets added on to it. This is a great round from Black Dragon, just sweeping away Santos underneath the rug, and Rise has to have the round of his career right now to keep his team in this round. Gets one, finds a second, yes he will, that's a great shot, but the diffuser will successfully be planted, and it's only a matter of time, and there goes Live swinging in from that rotational. I kind of bigged up a lot during the start of the round, and it's actually paid off quite badly for Santos in that scenario.
It's always the way. You call something out as being good or being bad, and it just works out to be the opposite. Not a very predictable game, though. And these two teams are really just throwing themselves at each other as best they can. It's not got that much structure to it just yet. It really is whichever direction that opening kill goes in, that's usually the favour of the round. We see Rise, he's able to get a couple of nice opening kills. Santos come away with the round. Black Dragons, likewise, they get the success early on. They're going to come away with the round. It really is playing out almost as binary as that at the moment. Black Dragon's roam clear has been very impressive, though, and I think that Santos are maybe getting dragged into it a little bit too much. You've not really got much choice, though. You've got to roam here on coast, otherwise you will just get suffocated. This site's no different.
Yeah, Penthouse and Fear has been a fun one, I think. Kind of see the transition period and see it kind of develop with the coastline changes that came in during this season. Bandit, again, still being chosen by Santos. They've really went for this Bandit where I just think surely just a mute would be good enough. Bandit doesn't really provide a whole lot. He is definitely underpicked in a lot of circumstances. Teams just aren't really interested in Bandit these days. I think they're kind of lacking, maybe information would be the main thing. An Echo would do them well. We see Echo drones provide a lot of information for the VIP holds. I mean, even Mira's open. Mira could be a very potent operator to choose, so there was a lot of options for them, but they went with a double denial, and we'll see how it pays off. I'm just a big fan of information on coastline. Just in any shape or form, you need to know where attackers are looking to stem their attacks from.
Information really is the name of the game, especially on a map like Coastline, just with how much advantage the attackers have got in being able to access bomb sites from the exterior externally. Now, this rappel is a problem. Ion maybe going to get taken out there. Instead, going to go for the drone. We'll very quickly lose that. Who's going to bake out the peak? Instead, the run out's going to come. What? Excuse me? SDK? What is going on?
I don't know. It's already this round has played out not expected. I mean, STK, it just seems as if STK is really trying to force something, and it's just not working for him right now. Looks as if the Black Dragons will successfully open up that VIP wall, and this is a great position for them now. Double window Wally, I know you like to hark on about this position a lot. It shuts down essentially everything in that bedroom. You cannot touch anyone trying to plant inside a bedroom if there's someone on that double window. It looks as if the Black Dragons are completely nullifying the people inside of VIP. They don't even need to move into VIP. They're looking maybe just to walk in and plant inside a bedroom without even having to aggress in towards VIP at all. So right now, Black Dragons are in good standing to really make this pay off for them. Just now, we'll see as final minute kind of goes into how will Santos respond. That's a good start. Live is gone. That was the sledge inside a Hall of Fame. But you still have Perez on the rappel playing Overwatch, trying to shut down anyone who wants to rotate and deny this plant that will eventually come in. In terms of utility up for Santos, they have literally nothing. They do have one C4 and a couple of Toxic Babes, but that's really it. And Smoke isn't in the best of positions to try and deny at the moment, especially whenever that bed can easily be jumped up onto, and a successful plant is enough to hurt them.
Zetso going to try and stun his way on into sight and get this plant down. Toxic Babes not proving any issue whatsoever, and that plant is going to go down without a hitch. Pizzetto will lose his life for it, though. Gets taken out by Rise as he tries to hop the window. He was eventually getting chunked down, but the plant's successful and the damage has been done. Black Dragons now need to try and hold on to this from the outside. Ion going to get run out on straight away as the double run out there from Santos. Great teamwork. One player to eat the air jab, the other player to grab the kill. Perez moves on through, picks one. Patoxi's already found another. Perez is on a tear here inside a Hall of Fame. MGN shuts down Patoxi. 14 seconds left. Perez, he's going to have a call out. He's going to have information. The C4 to bait. Is it going to be enough? The drone on the floor. Perez hits his shots. What a round from that young man.
Oh, it was looking sketchy. I thought the double run out was genius from the players of Santos. One eats up the air jab, the other one then runs and gets that freebie kill on a 2v4 at that stage. But you have to give full credit to Perez in that scenario. Hitting his shots. And realistically, should he have won that engagement with the man behind the bomb chassis? Probably not. But he makes the impossible happen. And Santos, another round goes begging for them. So now we sit 3 rounds to 1. Black Dragons in the driving seat. And they still have 2 more rounds to attack. And they've been looking deadly on these attacking rounds at the moment.
Yeah, they really have. And I think, given what we've seen so far, Black Dragons look like they're pretty well placed to start chaining a few more together as well. That level of coordination, the post plant that they're able to provide, everything's working pretty well for them at the moment.
Let's see now how Black Dragons want to try and respond with this kitchen defense being chosen once again by Santos. Black Dragons, last time they attacked here, did work for them quite successfully. It was a bit of a demolition job from them. Could say a demo job.
I'm not even going to
Just not even just
give that a comment now.
Oh, sorry,
not about it. Sorry.
So I'll just go back to talking about that game, I guess. Is that my job? I just... Nope.
I've just had word from Simon. He said, yeah, he'd like you to do that. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just Black Dragons. I feel stunned now.
You sound so sad.
You know, is this what my life has came to?
Oh, you sound so sad. It wasn't bad, to be fair. I did enjoy the demo job.
Thanks, I suppose.
We maybe let's make it a regular thing, or am I overcompensating now to try and make you feel better?
That would make me happy. It's not a lot of things that bring joy to my life. That would really put a smile on my face as I wake up, as I smell the ocean breeze. Even though I don't live near an ocean, but I'll imagine I do. But yeah, let's see now as already the things start to move on in this round. Hunter swings out from the double. Perez will successfully find one, but STK, a great rotation to cover his teammate. Has been down, but should be simple enough for STK to go and pick him up. Black Dragons, that is a bit of a dismay of a round, and don't even know what Live was thinking. Runs straight into a deployable shield, and Rise gets the easiest kill he's had all day. looks as if STK is almost using Hunter as live bait. And right now, Black Dragons looks as if maybe they're falling for it.
They really are. It was a great push from Black Dragons. They had somebody pushing in from server. They had somebody pushing in through double door. But it was met by an equally good push from Santos. A great rotation by STK. Eventually, Hunter has fallen. Now, I'm not entirely sure how. I really would have thought that STK would have got him up there. But he's seemingly just said, you know what? Just stay. And then we at least know if somebody looks to push through office because we're going to have an idea that they've finished you off. Either way, Hunter's fallen. He's not going to be too concerned. He's done a lot of damage at this point. Rise, he swings on through, takes down Patoxy. Black Dragons, starved for information. They don't seem to have a clue where anybody is at the moment. It's almost as if the Hunters have become the hunted. Seto's going to be inside of Sunrise. He's got an angle all the way on through. Realistically, what can he do? The site being kitchen, he has the diffuser. He's not going to be given the time to put it down, and MGN just holding on to the door. Probably quite a nice shot this. Yeah, it is. You can always tell when they're going to be a nice shot when they're framing one up with the SMG-11. Just a couple of bullets is all it takes. Barely get a glimpse of the head before the player's body's hitting the floor. Santos, they respond with a round.
It's a better round from Santos. I mean, that opening engagement on the inside of office kind of killed the round for Black Dragons. You can understand what Black Dragons were trying to establish. They look as if they wanted to push in from Blue Bar and Sunrise and establish the control of that side of the map and then finally move in towards Kitchen. So they were kind of changing things from what they did last time. But whenever you lose those two open engagements, you go 3v5 down, it is very, very difficult. I think Live was a good kind of showcase of players where they feel if things haven't went well in the early beginning, they feel as if they need to then put everyone on their back and try and make a hero play. And that hero play got obliterated as soon as he tried to go for it.
And that's it. We talk about the hero play. It's not consistent. It isn't repeatable, but it will give you a round here and there. Chance for Santos to level things up, but again, is it really on the cards for them?
So I would say that hero plays, if you're like a 1v3, sure, go for them, because what else can you do? But even a 3v5, we know teams can pull rounds like that back. That is not out of a degree, but simply just running in a 3v5 thinking, oh, I have to do something, isn't going to help your team anymore.
Yeah. Questionable decisions for sure. Paris has been pretty successful on the entry, though. Black Dragons can certainly take that away. I think if they'd have given themselves a bit more time to gather some more info, maybe would have had a slightly better time of things. This time it certainly seems as though everyone's a little bit more drone-focused. 3 players in drones currently. They're really going to be figuring out how they want to try and approach this. This, again, was the Rise round, wasn't it, Demo? Where Santos just tore down Black Dragons as they tried to approach through Hall of Fame. And Rise was able to pick up a slew of kills, and it was just a very sort of long, drawn-out, inevitable round for Santos. A chance, really, for them to keep that trend going and to pick up another round here, end 3-3. But already, Black Dragons are taking much more time on the approach. It doesn't look like they're going to be fooled twice the same way.
Dragons setting up pretty much the same as what they did last time. They have that man in double window, opening up VIP. You can see there's plenty of long angles, very similar to what MIBR were doing yesterday. This is a bit of a tough site to crack, as we know, Ollie. There's a lot of different angles that can be held by defenders. The fact that they've fully opened up triple wall. You can see Live, he doesn't really have any breathing room, Ollie. It's if he puts one foot out of plate, he's gonna get killed. So able to shuffle across. That shield shouldn't be an issue, and that should be taken out quite easily with the lack of ADSs or any one-eye disc on the side of Santos. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. So the flashbangs go out, and the nade will follow. So that's a good... Oh, okay, missed the shield, in fact. Doesn't destroy it, so I'm sure he'll probably have another re-peek of that. Just waiting for the right time. Or maybe trying to use the nade ollie to kill the Echo, just straight up. Ignore the shield entirely.
I think he's trying to go for the player that's potentially behind the shield. It's a lot more risky. Hunter has pushed out there a little bit. Perez comes in with our opener. STK immediately there to trade back onto it, though. Live, has he got the info? He's certainly got the glimpse. Great swing there onto Cons. Cons having a nightmare so far. Still yet to find the scoreboard here. Sits at 0 and 4. Advantage currently Black Dragons as Live doubles down, picking up his second on the round. Got a mirror window to contend with, but he looks confident enough to take the swing. Will actually make his way into sight here. For Toxie, he's been able to shut down Rise, and we all know where Hunter is because he was just playing on the window. Gets caught out on the rotation. What a round from Rise.
Black Dragons, some big work from them. Get overall. That means they take another round, and they will take this half, 4 rounds to 2. I think the lack of Wamais and ADSs, you could see, caused issues for Santos. Nades were just free, absolutely free for Black Dragons to maneuver people out of positionings into where they want them to be. It was a very minimalistic take, I would say, from Black Dragons. And that's the way that bomb site's always kind of been, is very minimalistic. You don't need a lot. I would have probably liked to seen Santos target the soft destruction from below. Didn't see anyone with C4s. I think C4s would be fantastic for them in that scenario. Just anything to make Black Dragons have to do something else. Waste time, waste utility, move people downstairs, maybe into a position that they're not comfortable with. Would have been a good thing for them, but sadly they thought, okay, let's just play the mirror windows. We'll try and deny them utilizing that gadget, but in the end it just wasn't enough. You only get a split second to kill a guy running from bathroom into the plant position from that mirror window. A split second. And if you don't get that headshot, Ollie, it's all over.
Yeah, the mirrors are a great idea, but they just weren't working there in that round. And Santos really felt the pain in that. Live had a cracking round. He was able to really orchestrate quite a lot. And I think that the nade being focused on moving the player and damaging the player as opposed to moving the shield, it was certainly intentional, and it seemed to work quite well for them as well. Again, another round where Black Dragons were able to get the plant down, and they come out at an advantageous split, 4-2. Really continuing that fine form that they were on yesterday. This is where things could get quite tricky. Santos, not renowned, not well known for their sort of attacking prowess. STK is already in the site, and he's already sat down on the floor. MGN and Hunter, they pick up a couple and try and battle back. That initial burst of energy was met extremely well by Black Dragons.
So Black Dragons, this has been a crazy round for them right off the rip. They have somebody bleeding out in the top of Coal Vibes, and I'd be surprised if Live makes the mad dash over to rescue Perez. Looks as if Ion, though, he will man up and pick him up for the meantime. So it will be a 3 versus 3, and I am interested to see how Santos want to deal with this scenario. So they've lost nades, they've lost their Gon 6s. They still have one set of nades though from the sledge, so they can still make that happen. I'm sure Sophia has some utility. Of course, the Nomads also with the flashbang. So they do have a good deal, Ollie, on the board now to really make things happen. But it's more the information. That's a good pick. A Mozzie drone is captured. One of the drones coming in towards the sunrise, and now they can use that as viable information, and of course it also takes away from Santos. It takes away their information also.
Yeah, Santos can't have too many drones available either. I think they've got 1 each at the moment, and then maybe a couple out there elsewhere. Hunter able to take down Ion. Great nade played from below. He's still got 1 more in pocket, so it could be dangerous with that one. Live moving through, getting a little bit more aggressive on this. He knows that there's players in Aqua. He misses his shots. Rise shuts him down. Hunter to finish things off onto Perez. Santos certainly had enough information there. Right place, right time from Hunter, picking up 2 really crucial kills there on rotating players. The initial burst of energy seemed to pay off there for Santos, but it was a risky one.
It was indeed, but just gets him back in now for free, so it's not far behind Black Dragons. That's a good start. Again, Coastline should be attacker-sided for the most part. We'll see now how they deal with the next bomb site. Looks to be upstairs again. You see, Santos actually going to be bringing the ace in as well, so maybe triple wall could be opened up. Maybe quad wall. Got some options for them, of course. I'm sure VIP would probably be a good avenue for Santos to really go for. Looking at how the kind of positionings for Black Dragons were, if you have one guy inside of VIP, it's just going to cut off every rotation. Just everything is going to go for them. So I think a VIP hold would, or a VIP take would definitely be well suited for Santos. They have the Nomad as well. That helps them with stopping anyone flanking inside the theater. Anyone who wants to maybe could be lurking below, could maybe come up main stairs and try something. So Nomad's going to help them out quite a bit. But and maybe if you look at the setup from Black Dragons, do you even want to go near VIP? Massive amount of reinforcement being placed, a massive amount of utility. It looks as if Rise and his drone just came in from the atmosphere. Looks like a meteor just crashed there, but see how Santos want to push on and start off this round. So Black Dragons have set up for their hold inside of VIP and Penthouse and Fear. Santos, looking at cons, they might be up for a challenge.
Quite possibly. They've certainly got themselves early onto the roof. Not always that you see attackers really prioritising the roof now just because of the restricted angles that are available there. But it's only one player. And at the same time, walls are being opened into VIP. Rise on the rappel. Cautious of the Mozzie. He's placed out an air jab on top of the double door. Needs to try and search this Mozzie pest out first. Job done. A little bit of careless placement there, but it allows him to move through. He can now start figuring out if there's any further utility in Aquarium to deal with and start to set up this push. It's nice to see a bit more of a tempered approach here from Santos, but initially it isn't working out for them. Perez is able to find the opener onto Hunter. Going to remove a couple of nades. Hunter, remember last round, was the player below that was able to throw a couple of nades up as impacts and really deal damage to some of those players that were sat on in the site. MGN with the immediate trade. STK comes in to save his ass as well before being taken down by Perez. 3 versus 3. MGN down. Seto. He knows there's going to be somebody inside of VIP, but it's going to be Perez to pick the kill up. He's on 3 for the round as Black Dragons can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Rise pushes on through, finds 2. He's now on for 3. He's in the 1 versus 1 essentially here. Perez, you've landed so many shots so far. Rise the same, but which one is going to stand above the other? It's tantalizingly close. Both players dishing damage out, and both players pretty low right now. Rise has hit the reload. The diffuser is going to be in the hands of Perez, and that's going to make things even more difficult here. Perez can just choose to hold an angle, and Rise has got to get lucky on the pre-fire. Another flash comes out. Ion eventually dies. Finishes off MGN as he does bleed out. Still leaves us in the 1 versus 1. Nothing really changed here. Perez, patience plays off. He's able to eventually pick up that final kill. Rise tried as he might, but he just couldn't get it done.
Oh, that is a real dogfight, isn't it? Oh, that is so close for Rise in that Sarah's had a great game today, but sadly cannot pull that round back. Would have been great to see a 4-4 for Santos there and really shift the momentum into their side, but Black Dragons, they prevail. They did a lot of the heavy lifting in that early game. But it kind of came down to the battle of the 20-bullet guns, Ollie. Arguably, one of the best defender guns against one of the best attacker guns in the current meta. Just very, very scrappy. You can see both of them are trying to count each other's bullets at a stage there. But in the end, just a lot of angles that the Nomad had to look out for, and Rise just couldn't pull it off. So, Black Dragons 2 rounds away from keeping their top 6 dreams alive. Do dreams become a reality, do you think, Ollie? Remember, MIBR have a massive game tomorrow if Black Dragons end up beating Santos today. A lot of pressure then shuffle onto MIBR because they have NIP tomorrow.
And that's probably one of the things that's spurring Black Dragons on here. You know, if MIBR were going up against a team that isn't as renowned as NIP tomorrow, then Black Dragons would probably be here with a bit of a different mindset. But they know that it's very doable for NIP to pull out the win against MIBR. Regardless of the season that NIP have had, they are that team that can just turn it on. They are that player. And you just get the impression that Black Dragons are fighting knowing that. And they're thinking, yep, we could get this done here. We really could. 2 rounds away from closing it up. And at least then, they can walk away saying, we gave it all we could in the last week.
That's it. You're not just say that you did everything you could. Because you don't want to have any regrets and, oh, I maybe could have played better. Oh, I maybe could have done that more. Leave it all on the table. Just leave it. Everything you have, leave it here. We know both the teams, the circumstances. It's a very heavily weighted game. Santos fighting to stay above W7M for relegation purposes. And of course, Black Dragons hoping to get into that top 6 against MIBR, their closest rivals at the moment. Santos looking to pinch the man inside of office, and it's not a good look for Black Dragons at the moment. I say that though, Ion will support, and that's a great swing from Batoxy. Sure, they lose live in the middle of that, but still, they keep the numbers advantage. In the meantime, it is going to be a 3 versus 3, however. So, it is one of those quick early engagements inside of Office, Ollie. The Office bloodbath is what it's turning out to be. You see Perez and Rise on either side still up. So the top performers in each team. Let's see if they can try and provide something for their respective lineups. Ion had a massive game yesterday, Ollie. Played out of his skin. Not so much today, though.
A little bit hot and cold. Instead, it's Perez that's really stepping up, as you mentioned. These early rounds are just explosive. And it's strange to see... Well, it's not strange at all. It's classic Santos, but they are that team that will just play ridiculously aggressively in the opening part of the round. And somehow it's actually kind of working out for them a little bit. It's difficult to say if it's working out for them entirely, but they at least managed to get the man count back to level. And then the pressure's really on because Black Dragons are left a little bit depleted. Let's see if they're able to pull away with this one in one direction or another. STK trying to make the nades work. He's going to try and push himself into bathroom. He's got information to be working with here, as does Cons. Cons going to aggress on through, finds the kill onto Basetto. Perez retakes angle. He's able to look on through. Great shot from Ion on high. Cons does the damage. Perez taken down on sight. Now Ion has a bit of a retake on his hands. The plant is going to start going down. STK quite giving himself away, but just keeping an eye on the proceedings. He wants to know where Ion's going to be approaching from. C4 maybe used as a rotation there. It's at least going to be a distraction. Maybe something to make STK peek through a little bit harder, but Ion got options. He's got rotations that he can make.
Sees leg.
Is he going to be able to push on through? Wallbang now, as well as Cons is providing perfect covering fire. And oh no, it's the C4 rotation that Ion made only a few moments ago that is going to be his undoing.
That's unfortunate. But very well played 1v2. Those can be tough. We have seen so many times where attackers in that scenario allow the player who they're against to have 1v1s. Santos gave Ion nothing. Not a single thing. They sat patiently and they waited for the right moment to strike. So all credit to them. Still in this. 5-4 Ollie. It's not sight set for Black Dragons as of yet. They still have to get 2 more rounds for them. I'm looking forward, though, to see how they deal with a Blue Bar and Sunrise Bar defense. And what's going to be the attitude for Santos going into this round. They don't have any hard breach, so opening up Sauna Wall probably isn't going to be an option for them. Also, opening up Blue Bar Wall isn't going to be an option for them. I would say more than likely Kitchen is where Santos like to push in from. I think Kitchen will be their kind of go-to avenue. Black Dragons at the moment don't look as if they're putting anything inside of Kitchen, so essentially it is free real estate. Kitchen is a very strong position for the attackers to have. It cuts the bomb site in 2. It gives then options to open up that quad wall of Kitchen into Courtyard, and then you can really have some good pushes and really try to single out certain members. If you know somebody's in Kitchen, you're kind of stuck in Sunrise, and then you're kind of stuck in Blue Bar. You can't really go anywhere, so I would expect Black Dragons to put up some kind of fight, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
All eyes need to be on the opening engagement. Last couple of rounds, we've lost 2 players from either side in the first 30 to 40 seconds. Really is blink and you miss it stuff. So, down Hunter, the player that usually gets himself involved in that. Unfortunately for him, he's probably one of the first dead, but albeit a bit of a slower round at the start of round 10. Santos, they've been able to pull one back. those desperate attempts to get an early advantage, and maybe some of the frustrations that we see in those rush attempts in the early parts of rounds aren't going to come forth this time. Instead, they're going to wait and rely on the information to be gathered, the drones to go forth. Then they can start to work off the back of it. Hans gets the intel that somebody is going to be inside here of VIP, and it's a great push. SDK is able to capitalize on that instantly. Brilliant to get to see that from the drone perspective. Hunter as well takes down Perez live. Oh, all he needs to do is press detonate and he probably would have got one.
He also would have killed himself, though, all in that scenario.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have been underneath of it.
Yeah, but he wanted to go pick it up. He didn't know there's a guy there.
Oh.
Well, I mean, that's a bit of a lifesaver from Santos that Black Dragons have missed that opportunity. But, I mean, Livey still has the C4, can still potentially get a kill with it. Keep that in mind. Patoxy also has one, so there is certainly deniability on the line of Black Dragons. He pre-places it again. Ollie, will this get him a kill, though? That's the question. Yes, and it's the perfect one. This ledge is gone. What? Oh, MGN.
Excuse me?
Disgusting bit of luck for him on that side as Live gets riddled through the barricade. Now it's a 2 versus 4. Patoxy has to win this engagement, but on that quick jiggle peek, just finds out that information. Rise, who's been top of his game so far for Santos. That's a big play. Good information being brought, and Black Dragons are not in a good position. But Seto, he is nowhere to sit, Ollie. With that vertical action being opened up above him, he's really relying on Patoxy to kind of protect him from anyone walking down the coal vibes. Not a sinner is inside of office, which I'm really surprised about. I would have thought that Santos knows the last 2 positions of Black Dragons. Get into blue bar. It is absolutely free for them.
Santos are really struggling with these final 2 players, and it's not even as if they're in real positions to support one another. Basetto shuts down MGN. Toxie will be down in process. It's a long-range challenge for Basetto to be putting in. The plant's going to start to be confirmed. He's obviously got that call as he has looked to try and move on up. He's now in the retake. Plant going down inside of blue. He's got 2 players to deal with inside a kitchen. Rise prone from afar is going to shut him down. Santos with the fight back here.
Yeah, it was only a matter of time, I feel. Good rotation from Santos, jumping into blue bar, which we know Ollie was free for at least 30 seconds. Not a single person from Black Dragons could really hold that to the best of their ability. So well done for Santos for realizing that opening. And now we go 5-5. Ollie, the games have been very, very good tonight. Some very long games, which maybe we weren't used to seeing yesterday. Yesterday was a bit of a quick day, but certainly not here today. Probably I would say our closest chance of going to overtime. It's been very back and forth. But who knows, Black Dragons could easily pull out 2 defensive wins, but momentum is with Santos. Who knows, they could have the possibility of taking a 7-5. But the likelihood would be 1 round apiece for either team.
I think that's the likely outcome here. I think the likelihood is that we end up in an OT. Would make sense, a game that's got so much on the line to give us our money's worth, be a nail biter and come right down to the bitter end. Santos really have turned it on in the last couple of rounds as well. It seems as soon as they stop doing those really early round rushes, things actually start to go quite well for them. When they formulate a plan, get an advantage and start to work it, that's when things really start to happen. It's when we see them go for these extravagant and wishful rush rounds that things just fall apart.
So Santos have been very quick to get into the building, Ollie. They have not been afraid of taking these gunfights against Black Dragons. Office has been one of the biggest epicenters of that actual crazy first-minute shenanigans that has been going on throughout this game. But nobody from Black Dragons this time are lurking below. Looks to be all of them are upstairs. We've seen them hold in towards that VIP penthouse and theater side of things last time, and it was a bit of a nail-biting round, Ollie. It came down to a 1 versus 1. Rise, unfortunately, could not see out the round for his team. I do wonder how much of an impact that's had on Santos. They could be 6-4, Ollie, if they had won that round.
Very possibly. You think about some of the close rounds that we've seen, some of the clutch rounds we've seen as well. Yeah, that really could have gone it either way up until this point. Hunter below worries me. Those nades, thrown as impacts vertically, are a nightmare to try and deal with. There's no dealing with them. There is nothing that you can do 9 times out of 10 because you don't even get the time to move if the grenade is cooked to that perfect temperature of medium rare. It is just going to hit the ceiling and explode straight away, and you may get the red nade notification if you're lucky, but even then you can't get out of the way of it. It's a great little use of them. It takes a lot of skill to do. That's exactly what Hunter is going to be trying to do. Now, we can see there's going to be nobody there. He may be trying to remove some utility or give himself a line of sight to work with. In fact, already he's going to have caught a fish. Can he land some shots live? Gets chunked down, but equally Hunter receives damage as well. Going to back away from that for the time being.
Santos doing their drone work, figuring out how they want to approach this now. They do have aqua control, but again, VIP has not been touched by Santos at all. The only worry that you would have with not taking control of Penthouse and Theater would probably be flanks coming in from luggage. Keep in mind, there's also windows that you can essentially kill somebody from VIP, and then you could get a shot onto somebody inside a luggage. That's also another possibility. But realistically now, for Santos, they're all about the aqua take. They're all about pushing in towards Hookah. And it appears as if it's going to be a bit of a landslide for Black Dragons, as Live has appeared out of nowhere with 2 kills. Ion jumps on with 1. STK, though, will pull back another at 2 versus 3, but still not in good standing for Santos. Hunter has been down, and STK all by himself in the 1 versus 3. Swings will eliminate Paceto. The shotgun is not enough to land, but Batoxi peeks up behind the plant pot and will eliminate the last remaining member of Santos. They hold on Ollie. It looks as if Santos, they just thought, you know what, let's just go for it, and it didn't work. They didn't eliminate anyone behind the bar. You have to question, where was the utility? Where were the nades? Why was that not being used? I would say that Black Dragons gave up so much to Santos. They didn't put any pressure below. Santos didn't have anyone in double window, which was a bit of a surprise for me. You put somebody in double window, Live cannot do what he just did.
True. It is all truth. And I think you summed it up really well when you said Santos just seemed to go, we've got to go for it. There's nothing we can do. Because that is a classic Santos play. That is page 1 in Santos's playbook is, we have just got to go for this. We're just going to try and make it work. And they try and brute force it. And as we see, it isn't a successful strategy. It isn't consistent. Black Dragons were happy to give things away. We're happy to play from deep. And we're happy to roll the dice on the man count advantage that they had. And it worked out really well for them. Toxie, did he get a little bit lucky with that last kill? Not really, but there was an opportunity there for STK to find him as well. Was STK going to pick the 3rd? I highly doubt it. There wasn't a lot of time left. Black Dragons very well considered there. They've locked themselves in to at least 1 point, but that isn't going to be enough. They need a win here, and ideally they need it in regulation. So they have 1 round to make that happen. A lot rides here on this round. Santos, they need to fight to keep themselves off the potential for that relegation spot. And with Black Dragons the only team now that can come away with a full 3 points, it gets even more tense here.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough round for Santos that they need to crack down. Pressure is on. But Ollie, if you put Cole under a bit of pressure, what appears? It's compressed coal. You're right.
Pressured coal. Pressured coal.
There you go.
I thought I'd get that one right.
That, dude, whenever I think of that saying, that's like a classic Dez saying. He says, oh, it turns into a diamond. Well done, Dez. Well done. But obviously, we're not following anything Dez does. We're off the rails. We're off the grid.
It'd be nice to come up with like the full scientific name for that, so that you could just like blow someone's mind.
Next time, if we get a hold of...
Oh no. A team
class.
kill. That is not what you want to see. Cons takes down Patoxi, but in the midst, we do see a team kill suffered as well. 3 to 3. How is Live alive? Is anybody going to peek him? Is anybody going to challenge him? He's still going to be keeping himself inside of billiards. He's got information behind him. He's going to have the bulletproof to do so. Live, he's playing a blinder here. He's keeping himself alive. Look at the patience that he's displaying. He's waiting for his opportunity, Demo. I don't think he's missed anything. Nobody on the side of Santos knows that he is here. He's going to be a big problem
Oh, my heart is in my mouth right now, Ollie. I don't know what's happening live. Probably should have killed this legend. Probably should kill this Ashe. Ashe is right beside you live. Finally, we'll get the pick. I don't even want to dig into what I've just seen, but anyway, it's worked out for Black Dragons massively. A minute to go, a 2 versus 3, stacks upon stacks of utility still up for Black Dragons. Santos, this is looking grim for them. Dire straits indeed. 1 on the bathroom hatch, 1 outside of DJ. Black Dragons still have VIP control. Black Dragons have everything right now. It's all down to gunfights, and that's the first one that goes in favor of Santos. The Toxic Babe almost clipped him, but he is still alive. Becerra, though, eliminates Rise, and Hunter is on a sliver of HP. 1 inhale of the Toxic Babe will be enough to finish him off, Ollie. Can he do it?
He's got a nade and he's got a chance. Bounces it around beautifully and takes down Becerra. That was not an easy nade to hit by any stretch. Now locked into the 1v1. 18 seconds, he's going to start baiting out the plant. Really hasn't got a lot of health to speak of, but if he's able to get it down, it is not going to matter. Live hits him with the wall bang, eventually locking things up here for Black Dragons. They take the full 3 points. Great wall bang at the end there from Live. Black Dragons, they pulled ahead in the end. A very hard-fought game by both sides. 7-5, they end up taking this one.
Oh my, what a game. And Black Dragons, a well-needed win for themselves. They keep the heat on